Hey everyone, welcome to the live show again. We're back on this lovely Thursday, the 30th of January. Can you believe it's the 30th of January already? Don't forget the risk, guys. Most traders lose money. If you don't like risk, you don't like losing money, don't trade. Let's get to it. Let's have a wee chat. Hope you're all here. You'll all be here. That's it. That's what I like to see. All the viewers coming back. All the guys that we know well. The A-team, as we call it. How's our trades doing? Not too bad today. Our Euro-Japanese yen sell is going in the right direction. The Australian dollar, Canadian dollar is going in the right direction. New Zealand dollar, US dollar is doing absolutely nothing, but it does put our net profit at about $200 at the moment. And, well, as you saw, we previously did have the loss down to 24,484. So if you add 200 to that, it's like 24.7. I saw about $300 down on the month. Could have been worse. Could have been much worse. So guys, these are your trades at the end of the day. Our trades, the team trades. And we'll get it at the end of the day. So tell me all about it. Tell me about your week. Tell me how you've been doing. Let's see how we're going. Good morning, Wendy. Hello. Welcome. Good to have you back on board here. Don't forget, never assume anything. And the market will always lull you into a false sense of security. You know what I loved this week? I'm a firm investor in NVIDIA, one of my shares that I invest in. As you know, I don't trade shares, I only invest in them. There are a lot of people out there that effectively trade shares as well as indexes and Forex and that sort of thing. But this whole DeepSeek thing, this Chinese AI or whatever, and NVIDIA went crashing down and everybody's panicking and everyone's running. My belief is they're trying to flush out the traders. They're trying to flush all the traders out of NVIDIA because it's built so strong. Because I looked into it a little bit, and this whole AI thing, this whole DeepSeek thing is, guess what? It's built on NVIDIA technology, so they need NVIDIA for themselves to succeed. I got my doubts that NVIDIA is going anywhere. NVIDIA is just going to make money like it usually does. I'm pretty sure they're just trying to flush out all these traders and whatnot, to be quite honest with you, because it just doesn't seem realistic to me. You know, it's one of those cases again where everybody's panicking, everybody's selling off. What's the future going to be like? Yes, NVIDIA's earnings might take a bit of a hit, but it won't be just because of that. Yeah, everything's due for a correction. I just get a feeling in this market that there's the sense of there's a correction coming. Everybody's waiting for a correction. So I've put the US 500 up here, and I've drawn in the daily resistance, the daily support. There's a trend running through here, and it's hitting resistance again. Looks like it wants to bounce down again. Is it going to break through that resistance eventually? I get the feeling there's going to be a correction before we move up, before we go flying north. There's a lot of things going on at the moment. Hey Maduri, how are you doing? Welcome. Morning, just looking with you. Morning, Casey. Welcome. Good to have you. Good to have you on board. Everyone's welcome, of course. Absolutely everyone's welcome. We'll keep it that way for as long as I'm around. So it's all about position trading, all about swing trading, and day trading, of course. But as you know, I don't trade the 5-minute time frames anymore because they're just 99% of traders lose there. Why would I? You know, I do the 4-hour trading. So I'll talk to you a little bit about the difference between 5-minute trading, 4-hour trading, and why there's a big difference. Let's wait for everybody to get on board. And, oh yes, Wednesday, every Thursday you're on the road. Yeah, of course. But I can't change the timing because there are a lot of people that want to be here at this time on a Thursday. So Thursdays are for this time, and then Tuesdays, obviously, it's better for you because it's earlier on and it's in the morning. But yeah, you know, one of the biggest questions I always get is, can you make a profit trading? Can you make a living from trading? And it's, you know, it's such a subjective question. Of course you can if you know how to do it. But just remember, only 20% to 30% of people can do it. And that's where everybody goes wrong, because everybody thinks they're going to make money out of these squiggly lines, and they go on a little course and somebody teaches them how to trade with these little squiggly lines. And everybody says that this high probability trading system is now going to give them a win rate and it's not going to make them money. They don't teach them that that's not the case, actually, that that's just a high probability trade. All they've taught them is how to take a high probability trade. But they haven't really taught you how to trade. They haven't really taught you to put a strategy in place and a business plan in place, because you need a plan to make money. So they haven't taught you that a win rate is meaningless, because you can have a win rate. It doesn't mean you're making a profit. And they haven't taught you that what behind the squiggly lines is actual traders, actual human beings, actual people that are trading. And that's what confuses everyone. And then they get into trading thinking, because they saw this presentation, this whole story of how you can make money from these little squiggly lines, but they're now suddenly going to jump in and start making money. Most of us got involved because of something like that. And then you find out that the reality is different. The reality is you need a plan. So, one of the biggest problems is people don't have a plan, because the markets are not run by maths. They're not run by algos. They're not run by little computer bots in the background and whatnot. They're run by human beings. So when the Fed chairman in America stands up and makes a speech about the interest rates or the economy or whatever the case, there isn't a bot changing things around. It's a whole bunch of human beings standing behind that going, oh, I've got to sell all my shares here. That's what you forget. So there is a big problem with that in the markets. Kevin, you got one of those computers like me. Every single one of my computers does that to me. It drives me absolutely insane. Kevin says he's on his phone right now because his computer decided to update just before the show. I get that all the time. It drives me absolutely insane how they Windows, yeah, absolutely brilliant, isn't it? I'll have a look at gold now, Maduri. Wendy, don't worry about the time. Yeah, okay, I won't. I'll try not to. Yeah, no. I think the markets are looking for an excuse to correct. They always do. But yeah, back to the question. And that was basically, the biggest question. Can you be profitable trading? Yes, but you can also lose all your money trading both ways. So it really depends on your psychology and how you are able to approach a market and how you are able to put a business plan in place. Because most people, when they start trading, don't believe that they need some kind of a plan, that they need some kind of a business plan. And they just go into trading and they trade willy-nilly because you've had a course and it's taught you how to make money on these lines. And you start trading on these lines. And then you realize that it's not working out. You're actually making a loss. You've got to make sure when you get into the market that you've got some kind of strategy, some kind of plan. Otherwise, you're going to struggle at the end of the day. So, as you know, I promote our strategy every single video basically after the charts and what have you. I go into the strategy for you guys and I go over the strategy over and over and over again, just in case you missed something in the last video. Because the whole basis of our trading is based on the strategy of making more on your wins and losing less on your losses. Doesn't matter what you trade. It doesn't matter what time frame you trade on. It doesn't matter what product you trade. All it matters is you make more on your wins and you lose less on your losses by way of a strategy, by way of managing your risk. So it's all about risk, 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 risk. The word risk has got to be the most important thing in your mind. I don't know if you've noticed, but on Trade of the Day and in most cases when I discuss a trade with you guys or when we take a trade, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but the first thing I look at is where will the invalidation area be? Where will the stop loss be? And where will the risk be? And then I work it back from there. I'm not even interested in how much profit I can make until I've seen how big the trade will be. And then I can work out, will there be a profit in that scenario? First thing I look at is the risk. That's where you're going to be. And as I've told you, the risk has got to be the same on every single trade. You can't change that. Don't ever change that. So, gold. You'll see I've drawn a big yellow line across the top of gold here. Now, I do remember why I drew it there, by the way. There is a top area here, and there it is, okay? there's an area here that says, ooh, that's a bit like toppish, okay? So I'd be very adverse to taking a long trade right at this point due to risk to reward, because my risk is down here and my reward is right here. If it breaks through this fat yellow line that I've drawn here, then I'll be happy to say, okay, we've probably got a good long trade coming here. Maybe it'll come back, retest, and go up. But if it comes back off that, then I'll wait for it to get down to this very much trend support that we've put here. You'll notice the trend support has gone above most areas. So if it goes back to that trend support, then you might get a nice long trade out of that with your risk over here, long hopefully going through that yellow line, because this is getting closer and closer to that resistance line. That's a strong resistance that I put in there. I haven't even drawn a rectangle. I don't know if you've noticed that. I haven't even drawn a rectangle in there with an area of resistance. I've literally drawn a solid resistance area in there. There's a pincer top right there where it came falling down again. And if you go further back, there's more resistance at that price. So there's very, very strong resistance at this price. We just have to make sure that it breaks through there, and then gold should continue on its trajectory, most likely. Euro, US dollar. What went wrong with it? Okay. Stephen, hi. Kevin, 96%. I'm nearly there. 96% means nothing, Kevin. It could take hours. I hate that. When you look at your computer and it says 96% complete, and then it goes back to 0, and it keeps on going. I mean, just forever. I've had situations, I get up early in the morning and I come and I want to do my research, and I switch the computer on, and there's a couple of computers, and you switch it on and the main one's doing its update. And it just never seems to get there. I'll go downstairs and I'll make coffee for myself and I'll come back and it's still busy. I'll tell you what, sometimes I can just pull my hair out, Kevin. I'm totally with you there. Funny thing though, the Apple ones are much better. They seem to update at better times and in the middle of the night and that sort of thing, and be much quicker as well. Euro, US dollar. Yesterday, there was a whole lot of things going on in the market. So it's all about, how can I put it? It's all about the politics at the moment, and it's been a difficult month to navigate. When you think it's going up, it goes down, and you think it's going. It's just been a difficult month to navigate. But you'll notice when I did talk about trades that on the Euro US dollar, I did mention that I had a bit of a worry about this head and shoulders developing, but it was pushing to the upside and it was going that way. But you'll notice I've changed it to a sell now because it broke down. And, that's why it's a 50-50 game. You just have to accept that it's broken to the downside now, and now it's even broken through this trend support. It's come back, retested, and it's heading down again. So looks like it's changed its mind, and it's decided to go back the other way. And what have we got here? Shoulder, head, shoulder, and that's a big head. So that big head is telling me it could get all the way down to the 1027. So if you are long, get out. It's over. It is no more. I actually didn't get in long because it didn't give me the right signal. So I left it, and now it's fallen to the downside. So broken the other way. Sometimes that happens. It breaks the other way, and we just deal with it. But yeah, Henry, it's, I don't know, when it's, the Fed gets up and says something, and then the US dollar moves around, and that's why I say there's human beings in the market. This is not, the markets are not controlled by maths. People think it is. People think it's controlled by some algorithm. It's controlled by maths, and if you work it out and you calculate it, then if it hits a solid line, then it's going to turn around and go the other way. The reason things happen in the market is because human beings are creatures of habit. We are creatures of habit. And this is all about human beings. This has got nothing to do with the mathematical equation. This has got to do with, if the human beings did it in the past, in all likelihood, they'll probably do it again. That's normally the case, because it's human beings that make these moves. So when they stand up and say, I'm not going to change the interest rates, I'm doing it this way, or the economy's this, or the economy's that, or you know, or I'm not listening to Donald Trump, or whatever the case, whatever politics are going on in the background, there's a whole bunch of human beings in the background that are listening to that as well, that are planning to make a profit in the future, right? And they listen to that and they think, that might affect how I make a profit in the future. So I'm going to sell everything now, or I'm going to change my view on that, or whatever the case. And that's why the market, it will lull you into a false sense of security, because you look at the charts and you think, well, because of that pattern, it should be doing that. And then it doesn't do that. And the reason for that is because it's human beings that are behind it, not maths. Maths doesn't move the markets. Human beings move the markets. And human beings see things as they happen. Real life. It's not like a robot or an AI or something like that. It's real life. People see it. So even if a human being has a bot running for them, they're going to have some kind of control over it because they're seeing real life happen on a daily basis. A bit like this DeepSeek thing, this Chinese AI and all that, and NVIDIA going down and what have you. They're really trying to flush the traders out. You know, trying to flush all those traders out of NVIDIA. Probably some big guys that want to really buy into NVIDIA again. I'm happy to buy into NVIDIA again, because when I did my research, as I say, I found out that if you do a little bit of fundamentals, you've got to. I found out that their whole technology is built on NVIDIA. So how's NVIDIA going to be so adversely affected by this that it destroys them? It's not. You know, at the end of the day, they're going to be okay. And they'll probably make loads of money. So, and that's human beings again. You see human beings getting that knee-jerk reaction. Ooh, they're going to go bankrupt. They're going to crash. They're going to go down the toilet, or whatever the case. And they're still here, still doing strong, still going well. So, yeah, that's why I say to you guys, don't read it as a chart. Don't read it as a mathematical thing. Read it as human beings. And now, what I use the charts for, when I see charts like this, what I look for is, you see these tails, that tells me that all the buyers are getting back in. All the sellers are getting back in up there. And I see a large green candle, it means, there's a whole lot of buying going on. See a large red candle, a whole lot of selling going on. That means there's a lot of people getting involved in the selling. And if you were to take volume and just have a look at the volume, which I don't really do anymore because it doesn't bother me that much, but if you do want to use volume with it, then all you've got to do is look at the volume and see, is there a lot of volume with that move? Because if there's a lot of volume with that move, then it's a genuine move. If there's a little bit of volume with that move, then it's not really a genuine move. It's kind of not there. Neither here nor there. How's it, David? Good to see you again. Lekker. Always good to have you on board. So as I say, it's all about risk, and the market is 50-50, as I always tell you guys. It's so important to understand this. It's just one of those natural things in life. Look, you know, when people ask me, can you make a living out of this? Just understand that around 30% of traders do make money, 70% don't. And it's all about your psychology, it's all about your strategy, and it's all about how you approach the market at the end of the day. Once you understand that it's about other traders, once you understand that it's about trading, once you understand that it's about high probability and making a profit in the near future, it becomes a lot easier. It becomes a lot easier to get your head around what's going on here, and that you're following lines. You know, what's behind those lines is people moving the markets up and down. Hello, meeting. There we go. Welcome there. Welcome. Aha, Mr. Wilson, you're back. I'm so good to have you back. I was asking where you were the other day because your name is in capital letters and I just can't forget that. That's a real pleasure. I'm glad my videos are helping you, and it's good to see you back on the show. We love having you here. We love having everyone here. It's absolutely fantastic. We're growing such a lovely team. Hi, Luigi. Welcome back to the live stream. So I hope you guys, the guys that maybe weren't here the other day or haven't been around, I hope you guys realize that we opened this funded account for the team. So this is a $25,000 account that we opened. We are a little bit down in it at the moment. I'll show you the statement now. But we are up again today, another 215. But this is for you guys. If you've got a trade, we can take it. We can look at it. And if it's a good trade, we'll take it. And it's your trades. It's our trades. Okay, I'll admit I did take Euro JPY. I did take Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, because there was just no trades going on. And then, unfortunately, one or two of the other trades that the A team took, we lost. But it's okay. You know, we're growing. Let me have a look at where we are on the statement front. Sorry, I've got to go around the block to actually get it. So we just got to go. Yeah. Nothing's ever made easy, is it? Okay, so there's the statement for the month so far. So the trades that we've taken, we've lost $515. So that was the first one was 45. I'll admit to that. That was my mistake. I clicked on the wrong button when I opened the account. The next one we lost US 500. The next one was a stop loss by profit, and the next one was a break-even stop loss. Next one was a loss to Euro US dollar. Then the gold was my fault. I got out too early. FOMO. We talked about that. US dollar, Japanese yen, that was a loss the other day. Now, at the moment, okay, when I printed this out, we were 171 in profit here. So that gives us a net. We're about $300 down in total, not 500. So we'll rebuild. It only takes one good trade to take get all that back. So I wouldn't worry about that too much, guys. So that's your statement, and that's how we're looking at the moment. So hopefully next month it'll get better. But that's how it's been. And that comes from this funded trader markets. So if you guys need a funded trader account, it is down there in the links, as I've discussed with you guys before. For those of you who want to use something like that. You know, it's just a cheaper way of getting into the market and learning and what have you. And that way you don't lose all the cash, I suppose. It's helpful. But if you do make a profit on any funded trader account, guys, on any funded account, just remember, take your profit, okay? Just take your profit. Don't leave it with them. Don't, you know, there's been so many stories about all these different accounts and all these different people and whatnot. And all I say to the guys is, if you pay $100 and you get an account like this and you get approved and you're making money and you make a couple of $100, take the money out. Take the money out and then it's paid for. And then you've got nothing to lose. And then you're just trading. And, you know, I've seen so many guys, they leave $25,000 in there or whatever the case, or $100,000. And then they complain when the thing shuts down and takes their money. You know, that's when they start getting iffy, is when you want to start withdrawing $100,000. They're like, ooh, yeah, it's a lot of money. So take your money out in small clumps and get it out of there. That's the best way. I say the same thing even with a cash account. If you've got a broker and you put all your money into a broker account, don't leave your money in the broker account. If you open a $100,000 account or a $25,000 account or a $50,000 account, doesn't matter. Just keep the account that size. If you make a big profit on the account, take the profit out and put it in your bank account. And just carry on trading with the size of your account until you feel comfortable with that broker of having a bigger account. Don't leave your money with a broker, guys. Put your money in a safe place. Put your money with a bank. Take your profits out. And only have the size of account with a broker that you feel comfortable with. Don't give them $1 million if you're not comfortable with a broker. That's nuts. If it's all the money you've ever got in your life and you give it all to the broker and you wake up on Monday morning and the broker's disappeared, no. Sorry, guys. Good old coffee again. Okay, hi Rob, on the live stream. Great live stream as always, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Lincoln. Hello, Lincoln. Welcome back. By now, Lincoln would have watched all my videos and he would have noticed that my first videos were so terrible. And, well, hopefully my videos are getting better now. I really hope my videos are getting better now for you guys. I'm doing my best to make them as, or much better, so that they'll be more interesting for you guys. And if you guys have got any suggestions, please feel free to give them to me, and I'll have a look at it and see what I can do to make it more interesting for you in whichever way possible. Not regards to the live show, but regards to the actual videos and that sort of thing, because I do try to make it as interesting as possible for everyone, and so that you can enjoy it as well. It's not just a boring old, let's learn how to trade. 1 + 1 = 2. Yeah, that's terrible. I remember sitting in classes and listening to people like that and going, why am I here? Why am I alive? So I try to keep it as interesting as I possibly can. Good. Kevin's back on his computer. That's excellent. Nothing wrong with the videos at all. I'm sure they're not perfect, and I'm sure in a year's time I'm going to look back on the videos from this year and think, I could have done so much better. You know, you improve all the time. But that's just the way I work in life, even with trading and with everything else as well. It's always a question of, I start at a point and I'm constantly looking for small improvements as I go along, because for me, nothing's ever perfect. I don't believe in you've got to that point where you're just great. You know, it just never is there. I'm always looking to tweak things and make things a little bit better and adjust. And maybe that's why, for example, you know, at my age, a lot of people wouldn't think that I listen to the most modern music and that type of thing. But I love the most modern music and that type of thing. I love the latest technologies and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm one of those people that just always wants to learn and always wants to get a little bit more in. I had an idea the other day. I can't remember now what it was. Aha, Lincoln, you must be my age. Yeah, when we start becoming forgetful, yeah. Where's my keys? Right. Yeah, no, you get to the age where you start designing little places where you leave certain things so that you'll find them again. Yep, that's how it goes. But yeah, no, if you guys come up with anything, please feel free to let me know. I'm always open to suggestions and that sort of thing. Yes, well, you know, it starts in the 50s and it works its way up, and then you start, you know, getting towards the 60s, and then I believe when you get to the 70s, you're doomed. But I'm not there yet, so that's fine. Yeah, no, it hasn't been unpredictable. It's just been a difficult sort of challenging time, and the markets have been unpredictable. Kevin, you know what we've got to look at is, like I said the other day, we've had a sort of, like with this account, for example. Now this account, you look at it and you think, ooh, it's gone down a little bit. That's okay. But like I said, it only takes one trade, one successful trade, and all those losses are back. And two successful trades and you're way into the profit. You know, it's just a question of getting a couple of good successful trades that go to profit levels or to go to profit targets. Because what we've got to understand, while I always say the markets are 50-50, they're actually a little bit against you. But I don't like to say that too much in the videos because it scares the hell out of people to know that you might only win 2 trades out of 10. But one of the most successful companies ever that had a group of traders, I think it was the Turtle Traders or something like that. These guys had a 20% win rate. 20%. In other words, they would win 2 trades out of every 10. But they were the most profitable company on the street. And you got to ask yourself, how is that possible? You know? How is that even possible? So that's the thing. Win rates are meaningless. It's all about how much profit you take. So we only need to win 2 or 3 trades, and we're way in there. That's how our strategy works. You're going to lose quite a few trades. It's always the case. You know, the losing part of the game is frustrating, and the patience to wait for the wins is really, really frustrating. That's what we've got to do. You know, we've got to hold on, and there'll be trades that come and they'll make you the money. Okay, so Lincoln, is the Brent over going to turn around? Anyone have expectation whether oil price will fall to? Okay, so what, Lincoln, the Brent trades between 65 and 90 at the moment. At the moment, it's in a range. And the only time that Brent went to zero is during the period of 2019, 2020, that big disease problem that we had. And that sent Brent all the way down to zero. That was insane, actually. But a lot of people made a lot of profit out of that. I mean, buying it at zero, I mean, crazy. But now, the whole thing with Brent is, in general, besides that kind of black swan event, Brent tends to run between $60 and $120 at all times. And at the moment, Brent is running between 85 and 65, say 70 to 82 at the moment, best case scenario. The reason for that is because these guys monopolize the oil price. I mean, that's just basically how it is. The cartels sit together and they discuss oil price and they move the price around to suit themselves, and they decide how many barrels will be for sale, how many barrels will not be for sale, so on and so on. So that's how they manipulate the price up and down. At the moment, you can sort of buy it at 70 and sell it at 85. That's effectively where it is. It'll probably settle around the 70. Hopefully it won't go to the 65 or whatever the case. And then it'll start coming up again. So at the moment, this is going down. But Lincoln, follow my policies, all right? Where you see what you need to do is, let's just put this there. I'm not even going to go to the day chart here. I'm going to do this on the H4. You can do this as well, okay, on the H4. It's not a problem. But just, draw yourself a line in the sand and say, okay, where's this going to land up, right? We'll start there then, okay? Let's make it a little bit less steep, right? There's a point, there's a point, there's a point. So there's a good 3 points, probably possibly a fourth. Look at this. It's broken through that. That is a trend support. It's broken through that trend support. Therefore, it's bearish. And if it goes up and breaks through that trend resistance, then it's bullish. You can put it back on the candles. There's the big red candle that came out of there. You should have been bearish at that point. At that point, not to mention it's broken through here, which was a actual demand level. It didn't take the money. It just broke straight through, gave you 2 red candles down to there. But at that point, you might have said, ooh, it's holding on the support here. Went back up, broke through the support. This is bearish now. And it went bearish at 79. So had you got out of the trade around that area, if you were in at 80, you wouldn't have lost much. Now you're taking a loss all the way down to 76 if you're holding a long trade. So you've got to look at these scenarios where you say, well, that's now, this trade is dead. It is no more. It's broken through that trend support. Now it's going bearish. The only time it goes bullish again is when it breaks back through that trend resistance and goes to the upside. And that's how you can follow them out. And then you can actually take your, you can draw in a couple of, let's put it on the day, and you can draw in a couple of support and resistance levels. But I mean, you really don't need to on oil. You know where it is. There's a big resistance up there at the, well, that's 85 to 87. And you'll see there's a big support down here. It's probably around, 70. There's your support down there at the 70 level. That's where you are. And then if you take it back to your H4, that's where you're lying. So if you want to know where it's going to go, there's your two areas. There's your top, there's your bottom. If it breaks through there, you're in deep trouble. If it breaks up there, it depends which way you are traded, obviously. But keep your eyes on that, and that's your oil. Okay. So, all right, Lincoln. So now you know, all right? If it does get to this level, much better entry, because then you've got the whole thing going. But if it breaks and it breaks the trend, then you can start looking at long trades to the upside, because it might break earlier than it's supposed to, and that's what you're looking for. And that's the idea. Okay. So Wendy, the New Zealand dollar, US dollar is in retest. I say this is cautiously, almost certain it's going too long for a good while after this drawdown. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, Wendy, I'm not selling it. This is your trade, actually. And I'm quite happy to keep it. It's holding on the support. My biggest concern with this is it's very similar to the Aussie dollar, US dollar, and the Aussie dollar, US dollar did break through that. But it hasn't broken. It could be just retesting this, what was trend resistance, and would be now a support and breaking back to the upside. So on the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, we're holding on with that based in mind. I am a little concerned that this does look a little bit like a head and shoulders there. But if it breaks to the upside, we'll be okay. I'm keeping an eye on it. If it breaks down fast, we'll have to, take our losses. But it could bounce and go to the upside. It has been bullish. It's been bouncing up here. So hopefully we'll get another bounce off of here going to the upside, and that'll make us a profit as well. And hopefully it'll do us just as good. But at the moment, it's really doing nothing. It's what, minus $25, nothing, no big deal. It's not even a loss on our account as such. Thinking, okay, that's what I'm thinking. Why don't you short Brent right now, seeing as it's going down? Okay, because I want to make as much profit as I possibly can. You can short it right now if you want to. For me, I prefer to take a trade when it's in a better position. Right now, for me, this is just in the middle of nowhere. Okay, this is just in the middle between the resistance and the support. I would actually much prefer to take a trade when it breaks through here and goes to the upside. Clearly, I missed the down trade. I didn't get it. I wasn't watching, or I was doing something else, or whatever the case, trading something else. And you can only take so many trades at a time. If you want to take this trade as a group, we can. But bear in mind the risk to reward, okay? So the risk is basically we're going to have to put the stop loss up here at about 80. And the reward is down here at 70. So it's not bad. It's not too bad. You can get a reasonable risk to reward on this. If you guys wanted to take the short trade, we could. At the moment, we've got a green candle on it, though, which is pushing to the upside. But the preferred trade for me would be if this breaks to the upside and breaks through the trend, even though it's going down, and counter trade it. But like I say, I would like to have got this short when it was at 79 or 80. That would have been a better area for us to get in. But okay, you know, if you guys decide you want to take a short trade on it, we can. But as Lincoln says as well, I'd prefer to go long. I'd actually like to see this counter trade. I'd like to see it break through that trend resistance and then give us a nice long trade back up. Okay. Carlos, what country are you in? Because you're asking which broker are we using. This platform that we're using, Carlos, this is for the group. This is a funded trader markets account. The link is in the description below. It's a funded account, a $25,000 account that I opened for the group. Okay, we're trading this together. This is C-Trader. This is part of the funded trader markets group. My cash account is in South Africa, and it's with GT247, which is uses MT5. I never show my cash account because I don't put my bank account online. That is, I don't put account numbers online. It's just a thing. Okay. So if you're in the Netherlands, you're going to need to look for a broker that's going to suit you. But if you wanted a funded trader account, you can be anywhere in the world. And this is a funded account, funded trader markets. Could we short gold around 27.90? Maduri, let's have a look at gold for you. Yeah, you know, as I said, we're hitting this resistance. Okay, what we've got to do, Maduri, here's the thing we've got to do. What I would suggest for the group, okay, let's not just willy-nilly go short. Okay, let's not willy-nilly go short. Let's look at this realistically. If we take a short here, we're just sort of gambling, right? I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just saying that we're sort of just it's hit the roof, and we're assuming, never assume, remember I said never assume, we're assuming that it's hit the top. And we should never do that. We should never assume, because the market lulls you into that false sense of security. So what do? What we do is we say, hey, it's hit the top. I agree with you. I think it looks a bit high, looks a bit topish, okay? But you can't just counter trade it. So how do you counter trade this? You take this trend support and you say, there's the trend support, beautiful trend support there. And we wait for that price to break through that trend support. When it breaks through that trend support, then we go short. That's when we're going to short gold. Okay, so we've got to wait for it just to break through there. Or we can, if you want to, go in early, wait for a nice red candle coming off of that resistance, coming to the downside and closing. Then we could maybe start getting in. But I would concern me because this trend is getting very close to that resistance, which means it could break to the upside. The trouble with a break to the upside, I don't know if you've seen it, but they move extremely fast. And they move away fast, which is deadly for a trade like that. So it's preferable just to wait for the red candle to break through. This trend resistance is close enough. Maybe let's just wait for the trend for the candle to break through there, and we can take a nice short trade on that. And then the Brent as well. okay, guys, like you say, if you want to, I'd say if you want to take a short on this, we've got to wait for a red candle, eh? I think let's wait for the green candle to get up to the resistance and then take a red candle. I'll keep in mind that if it does do that, we'll take a short for the crowd, even when we're not here. And if it breaks to the upside, we'll take a long. And on the gold as well, I'll watch for that. If we get a short trade through here, I'll take it for the group. Okay. But let's not jump in now. Let's wait for it. Okay, perfect. Said hi, Eugene. Is Eugene here? Oh, there he is. Hello, Eugene. Welcome. Good show. So yeah, let's not preempt it. Let's not assume. It is on the top. It is high. I do agree, but the trouble with the market is it can go higher. You see, that's the old supermarket mentality that I always talk about. Is if you go to the supermarket and something is expensive, then it's a bad idea. That means we should be waiting for it to get cheaper. Or if you go into a supermarket and it's cheap, that's a great thing. You're going to buy as much as possible. But in the stock market, it doesn't work like that, right? If something's expensive in the stock market or looks like it's hit the top, that means it's doing really well and it's really good. And if something's cheap, it's doing really bad and it could go worse. Stock market works different to the supermarket. So you just got to keep that in mind when you're trading. So that's why I say let's just wait for something to happen there. Actually don't need that there anymore. Let's just wait for something to happen here and take it out. And then there's the other situation that we have. Look at this rectangle. Look at that. That is a marvelous amount of money lying right there. So yeah, you could short it just straight back into there. To the risk to reward's not that great. So this would be wait for it to get back into there and actually take the long trade back out of there. I actually think what's going to happen with gold, and this is, I know it sounds insane. It sounds insane because it's so expensive, but I got a feeling it's going to come back, take this money, bounce, go through, and probably break through this resistance and head up, which will be amazing. Gold getting to that price is just insane. So, but I don't think it's going to break now. I think it might actually come back, take this money, and then go. Should be interesting to see. Very interesting to see. Okay. Yeah, David, it's kind of a double top. Actually, a triple top. But that's why I say I think the upside might come from here. The trouble with taking a short here is you're assuming and you're going against the trend, which is really bad. And your risk to reward is so short. You know, it's like there's not much risk to reward here. So what I would do is wait for it to I'd rather take long trades on this because it's so bullish. You know, trend is your friend. I'd rather wait for this to come back, take this money, and then get a trade going up. That would be a nice trade. That would be an excellent trade. So, yeah, Kevin, you know when I said my videos should be getting better, one day we'll get more people on the show as well. We'll get a bigger team. That'll be great. I think not a lot of people are into me telling them that it's difficult to trade. But yeah, that's life, eh? That's how it is. Mr. Wilson, I've been going buy on a bullish support and sell on bearish resistance. Also a couple of breakouts on both. Small lot sizes. Seems to be going well last 2 weeks. Excellent. Excellent. Keep it simple. Keep it straightforward. Buy on a bullish support and sell on a bearish resistance. That's exactly it. Perfect. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Keep that up and keep it going, and that'll keep you in good stead. That'll do the thing. You see how we've been doing with this Euro Japanese yen? That seems to be going pretty well. And I have moved the stop loss, have I? I have, eh? I've moved it up into a bit of profit here. Not much, very little. But I did move it up because it moved so far down. But I want to see if when it gets to this resistance, I might move the profit levels a lot closer. and see if we get a profit out of that. Okay, and then the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. I haven't moved the stop loss yet. It's still out there because it hasn't really moved that far away. Hi, Daniel. Afternoon. The news. The news is always no, actually, wasn't the news earlier today? What news is on the go today? Let's just have a look. Calendar. Boom. Right. Dum 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 dum. Is that it? Is that all the news? Show more. Today, Thursday, export price, Aussie dollar. I think the news is done, eh? News. South African interest rate decision pretty much stays what it is. Russia, Mexico. Nope. Looks pretty standard. Not much going on. Alrighty. I think the news was earlier today. So, yeah. Okay. I know that the interest rates are not being moved in the USA. Not much going on there. Rate cut decision for EU. Okay. Yeah. That might affect a few things. Okay. There was no rate cut in the US. I wonder if they're going to do anything in the EU. Let me just go through the news quickly. War's got to move things around to get to the news here. Okay. Powell holds interest rates and his ground, so that's done already. Trump's economic vision. Trouble is, it's pretty much all American news. Let's just see. Software stocks. Okay. As I said, this whole DeepSeek thing's a whole rotor. I think they're just trying to flush everyone out. As I said, basically their technology is built on it's basically built on NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is still going to be around. I don't see much going on here. I guess there's not much in the way of news. Eurozone unexpectedly stagnates as politics sink economies. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens with their interest rate, or if there's any changes or whatever the case. We'll have a look at it a bit later, see how it goes. If it goes, looks like the interest rate in South Africa is staying as it is. Let's go back to the charts. Okay, back on the charts. There we go. Bit of a workaround there for me. Boom, boom. Seems to cut 0.25%. And by the way, guys, as I said, I will look at the fundamentals like with the AI and NVIDIA and stuff in my investments and what have you. I will look at the general things that are happening around the world, the big things and what have you. But when it comes to interest rate cuts, CPI, jobs figures, things like that, I've really stopped worrying about that because it affects markets for a really short period of time and then it all comes back to normal anyway, because the markets are really based on the reserves of the country, the money flows of the country in and out of the country and that sort of thing. And no matter what they say or what they do, traders get affected by it, but the general flow seems to go back to where it's supposed to be. When you look at these news items, which are supposed to be so big, and I figured out they're actually really small. They're not that big time. They don't affect the markets like in such a way that it's disastrous, or you're going to wake up on Monday morning and your account's emptied out, or whatever the case. What does annoy me about those events, or those fundamental events, those CPIs, things like that, is when they swing prices in the Forex or whatever the case, and they swing it so far that it takes out your stop loss and then goes back to normal like it always does. And you always think, and I always put my stop losses far enough out so they don't get hit. And when they do get hit, that really, really is irritating because to move the market that much, it must have been some heavy news, but it goes back to where it was. It always does. So that really does get frustrating. Okay. 29 likes. Yeah, as I've said before, our show is It's not as popular as all those other shows where people tell you you're going to make lots of money. And it's not as popular as all those other shows where there's little things going on the screen and people are trading on charts and moving 5-minute things around and whatnot. Maybe one day I will be popular for saying what I say, but people don't like to hear the truth. People prefer to hear the BS. So, yeah, to get people to listen and to understand how the markets really are and how the reality behind it, it's always going to be difficult to have the most popular channel like that. If I was to sit here and carry on and lie about it and tell you you're going to make millions and yeah, the money's going to fall out the sky and you can trade 5-minute charts and you're all going to win, then I'd probably have thousands of viewers on the channel already. But that's not what I'm here for. So, yeah, I don't mind too much. I'm not looking at numbers as we stand. I'm looking at making better and better and better videos, and I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a bit of fun. And in the long run, pretty sure that people will come because they'll see the light. And once they see the light, they'll be with the crowd. They'll come and join the A team. They'll come and join us and see what it's all about. You know, that's the thing is people don't want to hear that it's going to take you 2 years to get your head around trading. They want to hear that I can learn to trade in a week. You know, it's a funny thing when you go and take on any kind of industry job, any kind of industry employment. If you want to become a lawyer, a teacher, a doctor, a car mechanic, an electrician, whatever you want to do, it really does take time to learn how to do it. You know, when you walk into a job for that first day, and for example, you just don't know where to sit, what to do, where to put yourself, or whatever the case, that's generally, that's human nature, that's life. But so many people expect to get into trading and within the first 5 minutes be making a profit, which is kind of insane when you think about it because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know where to place yourself or what's going on. And the other traders take advantage of that, obviously, because then you don't really figure out that you're actually trading against other traders at the end of the day, and they take your money. They'll always take your money. And they're not the only ones. There's loads out there. The people are just waiting for you. So yeah, it's a funny old game, but when you realize that it's more like a career and it is going to take you some time to learn how to do it, and you know, even the best struggle, then you start to understand it a little bit better. And I'm here to tell you that behind those squiggly lines as traders, it all looks great, it all looks fancy, but I'm one of the fortunate ones that started before all the fancy stuff came along. So we had an immediate understanding that there was human beings buying shares and investing in companies and investing in whatever, and it wasn't about lines. We just started using the lines to work out the trends because human beings are creatures of habit. We do the same things over and over again, and once you figure that out, then you realize, okay, we can start getting high probability trades out of this. Okay. David is struggling to get a monetary value. Okay, so here's the thing, David. What I do, and this is what I've mentioned in the videos, but I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail around it. But as you know, I risk 1% of the account. So 1% of an account is a comfortable amount for me, whichever account. So if it's the $100,000 account, or if it's this $25,000 account, the 1% works for me. So I'm comfortable risking on a $25,000 account $250. That does not mean that every single human being on earth will be comfortable risking $250 on every single trade. And in fact, anyone who might be new to trading might not be comfortable risking $1. It's really difficult when it comes to real money. So how much should you risk? The the basis of it is if you have an account and you risk 1% of that account on any given trade, and you're not comfortable if it's too much or too little, then you just need to adjust around that. So if it's too much, for example, if you're not comfortable, let's say you've got a $25,000 account, you risk $250 and you can't sleep because that's too much risk, then divide it by 2. Go half, see if you can sleep with that. Are you comfortable with that kind of size of trade? That's the only way to work it. So how do we take a trade? We realize that we want to risk $250. So if you're taking a trade, you effectively, okay, let's say we were going short. I'm not going to take this trade because I don't want to, but here's the gold. Now let's say you wanted to go short. So short would be a sell. Now, you want to work out what your stop loss would be on that sell. So the first thing you do is say, where would I put my stop loss? So let's say, and I'm just going to say this for the sake of it because we're not going to take this trade, but let's say you wanted your stop loss at 28.20 because you're going to sell. So you write in here 28.20. 28.20, right? That says if you take this size of trade, you're going to lose $3,800, which is insane. So you're going to look at this and say, okay, so we need to change the size of the trade. So we're going to change the size of the trade. Let's take it down to 0.05 and see how big that is. Oh, now it's at $200. Now you might be comfortable with that size of trade. So now you know your size of your trade is 0.05 lots on this particular platform. And then all you've got to do is go over to the other side and say, okay, what's my take profit going to be? My take profit's going to be 2.5 or 2.65. I'm just putting that in as a figure, and that would give me $656. And then I say, okay, that's the size of my trade. That's the trade that I want to take. That's the trade. Okay. End of story. And then you place the order and you take the trade. That's how you work out the sizing on your trade. The first thing you do is you look at the loss. You look at what loss you feel comfortable with, what loss you want to take. And then you work out the size of the trade against that loss. Then you work out where your take profit's going to be according to the chart. And then you can see what size your profit's going to be. That's the best way to take your trades. Don't you dare press place order. I don't want to place any order on that at all. Okay, there we go. So that's just how you would place the order. That's just how you would take the order. So you work out your invalidation area. Then you work out the size of your trade that will give you that loss size that you're comfortable with. It doesn't have to be exact, just close by. And then you work out where your profit's going to be. Obviously a target that's reachable at the end of the day, not something that's insane. Okay. David, does that help you in any way whatsoever? If not, ask again. Seems to go for several days, yeah, accumulate more profits, then I get reckless and lose everything in one go. Yeah, look, TradingView has got it, C-Trader's got it, Match Trader's got it. The only one that I've found that doesn't have it offhand is MetaTrader. I do have MetaTrader. That's my main cash account, so I don't put it on here. But MetaTrader, what I do, you can go into their shopping area and apps and whatnot, and you can get a little product there. You can get free ones as well that you can attach to your charts, which works out the size of your trade for you. So that thing on the top right on corner, that little goodie there on MetaTrader, go in there, find yourself a product that you can bring in that'll give you that as well. That's the only trouble with MetaTrader is you've got to keep on adding all these extra things in, and it's quite an annoying little thing. But yeah, it is available. Okay, so David, what you got to do, because I use Meta 5 as well, you've got to go into that little app goodie on, when you sign into your account on the right-hand side at the top, and then you go into that thing where all the apps are, and then you'll find products in there. I can't remember what they're called. Just have a look around. That will work out the size of your trades for you. Then you need to bring that over onto your charts, and then it'll come up on every chart, and then you can just tell it, I want to work out the size of my trade, and it'll tell you how many lots you can buy or sell. So there are quite a few. There's quite a few different ones out there. There's free ones, there's paid ones. That's the annoying thing about MetaTrader, is you don't just get it on the chart like this. You have to go and add it in. But yeah, there are quite a few products available out there. So go look for that, David. That will help you. Okay, that's the only way to do it, guys. You can't just sit and work. I tried many years, especially using MetaTrader, of going, on this product I buy 0.1, on this product I buy 1, on this product I buy 2 lots. But it just gets so mishmash, and then you find a product that you haven't traded before, and you got to start working it all out again. How many can I buy of this? And best thing is just get one of those apps, bring it over. They're actually quite handy, and they do work. And then for Carlos, when you said same here, David, it goes well, and then I get reckless and lose everything and go, I want it. This is something I needed to talk to you guys about, is when you start winning, it's probably one of the most difficult things that can happen to you, because when you start winning, that confidence starts to step in. And when that confidence steps in, it becomes dangerous. And exactly what Carlos said there, then I get overconfident and I lose it all. Exactly that. So what you have to teach yourself to do is keep it the same. That's so difficult when you're winning. But you decided that you've got a $25,000 account. Obviously, the news has come out because I can see figures moving here. You've decided that you've got a $25 account, and you've decided that you're going to trade $250 on every single trade. Keep it there. Don't be changing it. Don't be moving it around. Don't be making it more because you're more confident now. Don't think, oh, now I can risk $1,000 because I'm doing so well. Because the minute you do that, it's going to turn around and bite you and take all the money. Just try and keep your trades the same size. And then when you rather put it in a time period. So, because you might suddenly start becoming really profitable, then say, well, you know what? I'm going to change my policy every 6 months. So I'm going to change my policy every 3 months. I'm going to review my trades. I'm going to have a look at how I'm doing. And then I'm going to make an informed decision as to how much risk I'm going to take. And I'm going to make an informed decision on how big my account should be and whether I should increase it or decrease it, or what should I do with my trading. Really important that you look at it that way. So Carlos, don't just get overconfident. Okay, so yeah, you know as well as I do, David, that MetaTrader is quite a pain in the side, to be honest with you. But yeah, just go and look for those little apps that they sort of give you. And then don't overdo it with those apps as well, because they can slow your platform down, and they can get rather complicated, because you're going to see lots of nice stuff in there. Don't add them all. Just take what you need. Just grab what you need. That'll be fine. Daniel, getting better at handling fear every day is something you're going to be doing forever and ever while you're trading. But what it is actually getting more comfortable with the amounts that you're trading. So, the bigger amounts and the value of the trades and that sort of thing. So becoming more comfortable with that is something that you get your head around at the end of the day. But the actual fear will never go away, because you'll always get to a point where you take a trade and the fear steps back in. It's there are some people that don't have it, but I don't know, maybe you have to be a psychopath not to have it. But there is a point where no matter how long you've been trading, there is an amount that's too much for everyone, where you start sweating. When you know you've traded too big, you just know. And That never goes away. And that's a good thing to have that, because otherwise you just go mad. So yeah, getting over the fear, it's it's more about getting over the trade sizes. So, when you feel the fear, just back off on the trade size a little bit, and then move it until you're happy with a trade sizing. Lincoln says I might be the psychopath. Trust me, I know a few. The best ones I've ever seen are the guys that can walk into a casino and just throw money down on that table and they don't even feel it, and then they lose it and they throw more down. It's insane. It's insane to watch it. But yeah, totally. It's crazy. But yeah, you've got to have some fear in there. It's always going to be around. There's always going to be something. News turned out good for the US dollar. Well, I haven't looked at the news, but yeah. Luckily, these ones are Euro JPY, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Let's have a look at how that's doing. It's not a big move. Nothing serious happening there. It's still where it was. Let's have a look at the Euro US dollar. It's... Where's the US dollar, Japanese yen? US dollar, Japanese yen. Okay, so... I don't know. Yeah. Guess the US dollar is not unhappy at the moment. Australian dollar losing ground. But it's not big time. It's not massive. It's not huge moves or anything like that. So I guess the news it's pretty basic. Not much change. Yeah, that needs to come down a bit further. Yeah, being a contractor, probably, yeah. Looking at those heights and whatnot. Interesting. Yeah, it's just basically, every human being has an inbuilt fear receptor to something. And it might be losing. Some people are built for trading, some people are not built for trading. That we need to understand as well. And you can train yourself to get around it, but there are those that really aren't built for trading, which is why we have such a high loss rate in trading, because of the fear. Because the fear is what causes people to lose. FOMO, fear of missing out. Actual fear of losing. There's so much fear in the markets, and that's what actually causes us to lose at the end of the day. It's got nothing to do with anything else. It's not got nothing to do with systems or lines or anything like that. You'll find that everything in the market is based on fear. It's all about that psychological thing. And if you can get around the fear, but then you've also got to have some fear, because if you don't have any, then you're going to risk too much and you're going to make mistakes. That can also be a problem. You've got to watch out for that as well. I see the markets are doing a bit of a move around here. Let's just have a look at the US. Okay. Oh, it's not that big a move. It's not a world-ending move. Gold is sort of stuck at that area. Interesting. Yeah, life's on the line. It's different to trading. It's just a different kind of fear as well. So the fear of falling off a building and the fear of losing all your money is two slightly different kinds of fear. So, or the fear of getting eaten by a crocodile might be a different kind of fear. But it's all fear at the end of the day. And that's what controls the markets. Everybody's got a limitation. Somewhere there's a limitation, depending on what that limitation is. There are one or two traders out there that have got absolutely no feeling towards money, but they've been trading as well for a long time. And it doesn't matter to them at all. Size doesn't matter. It's just a number. I guess once you can get your brain around that, then also just a number, then it doesn't matter. You see, that's also a big thing that I've found over the years as well, is you don't see real money, you just see numbers. And you get your mind around it. You know, whether it's 1 million, whether it's 100,000, whether it's $10, it's just a number. And the win is in the win. But yeah, when you're still learning and you're still new to trading, it can be, for a lot of people, quite daunting to see the flow of red in your trades. You know, that can be, yeah, it can hurt a lot of people. It affects some, doesn't affect others. Especially when it gets into a serious position, and it can get like quite bad. The US 500 is, you see, I've got the US 500 up here, Kevin. And if I look at it, there's the resistance, there's a support, and there's a main support. It's hit resistance, it's failed at resistance, coming down. I thought it would close this gap here. Hasn't closed the gap, that might do it later. So it might come back again and then go up again. Yeah, you see, Lincoln, if you start small, the best way, because you teach yourself, you learn about it. It's the same as climbing to the top of a building. You know, you don't go straight to the 50th floor. You start, and then you get up to the 5th floor, and you check how high that is, and then can I handle the 10th floor, and so on and so on. You go straight to the 50th floor, you might like, ooh. Just depends on your ability and your fear receptors and that sort of thing. But it's really, money is a funny thing. It's one of the more, I've seen, it's one of the more difficult ones for people to overcome, because you're putting risk in to get some gain. So that's the thing with trading. It's not like a normal job where you go and you negotiate a salary and you get paid and all that sort of stuff. You actually have to put some risk in to get an income, and that can be quite tricky. That's what causes people to lose. I've seen really pro traders sitting at desks struggling to make money. So it's not the simplest thing on earth. Okay, so Gunsi and Glovo, welcome to Old Pros. That is absolutely fantastic. I started trading a small amount of money. Oh, that's it. Okay. So, yeah, okay, so we got a few views. Got a few people in today, not that bad. We're all here, and we're doing our thing. Could have been better. I'd love to see it one day where we at least got like 1,000 viewers. I see all these other guys doing so well with that, and people following with that. But like I say, people don't want to hear the bad news that it's really difficult to trade. Really, you know, when I tell people that it's going to take them a couple of years to learn to trade or to get their head around it, I can't believe it, because so many people tell them that you're going to learn to trade in a day. You're going to learn a high probability trade in a day. You're going to learn how to work with these charts, and you're going to learn the high probability trades, and you're going to learn when to get into a trade and when to get out of a trade. That's easy. I can teach that to a primary school kid. But the psychology of trading and the strategy and the business plan that we talk about on a regular basis, that takes time to learn. That takes time for your psychology to get around. Some of you will get around it a lot quicker than others, but it takes time building up to that and feeling that pressure. And I noticed a couple of the questions here today were specifically about working out the size of your trade and being comfortable with the amount you're trading. That's the bit. That's the crux of trading. That's the whole point. You hit the nerve. That's what you need to learn is where am I comfortable? Can I sleep at night if I've got $200 at risk? Can I sleep at night if I've got $50 at risk? Am I comfortable walking away from the computer and leaving the chart running? And I know I've got 3 trades in that could risk $700. Can I walk away from the computer on that? And will I be comfortable with that? If I come back and it's all gone, what am I going to do? Am I all right with that? Or will I start banging my head on the wall? These are all questions you have to ask yourself. And that's what takes time to learn and get around. The actual charting, come on, guys, that's simple. That's straightforward. Like I said, primary school kid can learn that in no time. That will figure out. I mean, look how simple this is. It's hit resistance. It's going down. Oh, we could go short. And then we can get down here and then gets to support and we can go long. But who here is brave enough to take a short on the US 500 right now? I mean, it's a tricky trade. We all know the US 500 is strong. Nobody here wants to step in and go, oh, I'm going to take a short on the US 500 today and risk real money doing it because it's a tricky trade. Even I am looking at it and thinking, should I or shouldn't I? Will I put real money into that? Should I or shouldn't I? Because the US 500 is bullish. So I don't want to go against the trade or against the trend, sorry. And that's the crux of the matter. Can you do it? Can you take that risk? Can you get in there and take that trade? People don't want to hear about trading at all. It's all I talk about, and people around me suffer it. The one thing you're going to find, and I can't believe everyone doesn't want to do this. The one thing you're going to find, Lincoln, is it seems like everything I do is like that. But with trading, you with your friends and family and people around you, they're not going to appreciate what you're doing. They're not going to appreciate that you're a trader. I have, over time, had so many friends become really interested in it and interested in the trading and that sort of thing, but they don't see it as a real job. They don't see it as a real thing. If you tell somebody I've got a fashion store or a takeaway or whatever, a shop or whatever, then they understand. Like, oh, yeah, that's what you've got. I'll even come visit you at your shop. But you tell them you're a trader, it's like, what? Trader, So people struggle to understand that. It's the same as like if I tell people that I'm a trader and if I tell them I make YouTube videos, that's even worse. Okay, what are you doing? Yeah. So no, it's people struggle to understand these types of things. You're going to find that. But most of my friends, through the years, they all know me now. They all know I'm a trader. But all through the years, they would be like interested. What are you doing? How do you do that? But when it comes down time for them to invest, when it comes time for them to now start investing money in something, then they're at your door like, oh, how do you do this? How do you actually do this? Yeah, they'll be there. Don't worry. They'll know who you are and they'll be there. Okay. So rather manage my account to sustain the drawdown, I eventually become profitable, and this is what I've learned recently. Yeah, that's precisely it. The teaching of trend trading has helped tremendously. Trend trading can be extremely useful. Wendy, that's actually the first thing I learned was trend trading. The first thing I learned in trading. I was so fortunate. The first thing I learned was how to trade. Basically, we would draw a line through the middle of the prices, and we didn't have computers, of course. And if it broke through the line and it went up, then I would buy, and if it came back through the line, I would sell out and wait for it to go back through the line and buy again. It was basically trend trading. That's all we did. Yeah. Be or not to be? I don't understand how I can make a living from trading. Trading is a fulfillment for me. Okay. So it depends from person to person if you're going to be able to make a living from trading. Firstly, you've got to have enough money to do it, because if you've got $5, you're not going to make a living from trading. So you've got to have some form of cash to make a living from trading. This funded trader thing, it's all great, well and fine. It'll get you into trading. You might make some money from it, whatever. But it's better to have your own cash in the account, obviously, at the end of the day, and at that, a decent sum. I mean, you're going to need about $100,000 to do it properly. Then, if you make 20-25% on that, is that enough? You see, that's the question. That's always the question. And so yeah, making a living is difficult from trading. It's not easy. People, you see, there's so many guys out there, and I don't talk bad about anyone. Please understand me when I tell you this. But they're all promoting to you that you're going to make millions from trading, that you're going to make so much money from trading. And making large sums of money from trading is not easy. As I've said to you before, full disclaimer, most of my income comes from my investments, which I've been buying shares for years. And that pays me back years and years and years. And as I've showed you with a calculator, if you keep on paying into that account for 20, 30 years, it becomes a gargantuanly large amount of money. And then you can trade with that money. All the years I've been a trader, because trading's kept me busy. But can you make a living out of trading? Yes. Can you go bankrupt out of trading? Yes. It really does depend on your psychology. Now, if you want to make a living out of trading, the difficulty comes in with how much can you make as a person? Are you able to make that large amount that you need? Do you have enough capital to make that large amount that you need? Because if you've got $10,000, it's not like you're going to make $90,000. That's the difficult part. That's the difficult part, guys. People are expecting to take a small amount, turn it into a large amount overnight. And that's not going to happen. And that's why people aren't watching my channel, because I'm not telling you that. And I don't want to tell you that, because what's not true. You need to take a decent sum of money that's invested and turn it into a larger sum of money. But, it's no way it's easy to double that money. That's why we've got geared trading, so that you can trade 1 to 100 or whatever the case, and you can try and make a little bit more than what you're supposed to. So you can turn $10,000 into $100,000 worth of trades, but then you're risking a larger sum of money again, and you might lose the whole $10,000. So yeah, it's difficult to make a living out of this. It really is. It can be done if you have enough capital, but don't let people tell you that with $10 you're going to now suddenly make a living out of this. That's not true. So when you say, I don't understand how I can make a living from trading, I get you, because it is difficult. It's not going to be easy. And if you don't have the capital, it's going to be even more difficult. Now, a lot of people are using these funded accounts to get them ahead. And it's a great thing. It does help when you can get through these accounts and whatnot. I do believe it's helped a lot of people. And as I say, when you make a profit, just get your money out as quickly as you possibly can. Okay, you can make a living. You just need to understand it will take time to learn the skill. You get to study first before getting good at it. Like everything in life, you need a plan to achieve things. What Daniel says, totally true. You've got to learn how to do it first. You see, that's the other problem. First 2 years, guys, I can guarantee you, first 2 years, there's no way you're going to make money out of this. It's just so difficult to get your head around it and to be able to make it. And even if you're copying me or copying Daniel or copying the next person, you're still going to trade at different times. You're still going to make those mistakes and you're still going to have those problems. And as Daniel says, use the funded trading account to learn, make the cash you need to run it your way, which is effectively what you want to do at the end of the day. But like I say, if you want to make a living, then you obviously want to have enough cash. You want to have enough cash to make that living. So, okay, so the Random Coding Channel says, I've tried to learn since 2019 and still make no money. And I get that because it does take longer for some. And the problem is, it depends what you've learned. You see, you've gone on a course, maybe, and I'm assuming here, and as I always teach you guys, never assume. But this is just a bit of an assumption that you've gone on a course and you've learned that you need to follow these squiggly lines and a system and get a win rate and make money. Did they teach you on the course that you need a business plan and a strategy? Did they teach you that you need to strategize a plan and that money's not made on the lines, that money's made on the strategy, that money's made on the risk strategy? Once you get your head around the risk strategy and you get your head around how the money's made, then you start to work out the profits. Like I said, like even on this account that we opened for us here, okay? So the account's down a little bit. It's up here today, but in general, it's down a few $100, okay? But it only takes one trade to get that back, and that's the strategy. The strategy is you're going to have losses. We understand we're going to have losses. Is every trade going to be a loss? No. In fact, half of them should be wins. But even if only 2 or 3 of them are wins, we'll be in the pound seats. And that's the strategy. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at a strategy that's going to make us more on our winning trades and lose us less on our losing trades over time. But patience is a key here as well. So, yeah, like you say, you've learned from YouTube. Yeah, and I get it. That's where all the information is. You can pick up a lot of information from all the different traders on YouTube. Lots of information, but you can have information overload where you confuse yourself and you get too much information. You start jumping from system to system and that sort of thing. And a lot of the information is not going to help you. The thing is, also, whether it's YouTube or courses or whatever the case, at the end of the day, most people are teaching that you make money off the lines. Most people are teaching you the high probability trade. And the high probability trade that you're learning from all the different people is totally correct. None of them are wrong. All of these systems work. Where you're going wrong is the way that the trade is approached. Where you're going wrong is how you approach the trading, how you approach the business, and how you take your profits and losses. That's where you're going wrong. You've got to follow the strategy. You've seen in my videos, every single video at the end, where I talk about strategy, risk. The first thing you do when you're taking the trade is you look at the risk, you look at where the stop loss is going to be, you work out the size of the trade, you risk the same amount on every single trade, and you try to make more on your wins. You've got to get your head around that. That's the only way you're going to become profitable. The only way you're going to make a living from trading is if you have the business plan and the strategy. If you opened a shoe shop tomorrow, I'm just going to put this out there. If you opened a shoe shop tomorrow and somebody said to you, this is the shoes, this is how you sell shoes, okay? If you sell the brown one, you get $50, and if you sell the black one, you get $70. And you buy the shoes from this factory, and you put them on the shelf like this, and there's your shoe shop. Would that work for you? Would you open that shoe shop with no business plan and just go with what that person told you, that you just need brown and black shoes? No, you wouldn't. You would have a really good and proper business plan to go with a shoe shop. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm pretty sure you'd have a really decent business plan if you opened that shop. You wouldn't just open the shop full of shoes. But with trading, somebody tells us there's a whole bunch of lines, they're red and green, and if it goes there, you buy it, and you go there, sell it, and then you'll make a profit. And you go into it with no plan. You just go into it, buy and sell. And that's the problem. That's the problem. You've got to have a strategy. You've got to have a plan. That's the only way you're going to make money out of the whole scenario. So I'm preaching now, but, you know, I have to. As Daniel says, if they copied me and took the trades, they'd be up 8K this week. He was too scared to take the trades. But that's the point. That's the whole point I'm making. It's your psychology that's too scared to take the trades. You don't want to take the trades. You know, your psychology is telling you, don't take this trade, don't take this trade, you know, when you should actually be taking the trade. It'll always be 2020, 50-50, 2020. But yeah, I'm just pointing that out to you guys, that, you know, you can win. Obviously you can win, but it's difficult to win. And winning is not based on charts. As human beings trading in the market, winning is based on a strategy that will either win or lose. And, you know, it's frustrating when you don't just win every trade, and you have to be patient, and the trades are going against you, and you're not making the wins, and so on and so on. And that can be very, very, very frustrating. See, now this, I'm just a bit worried about the stop loss being here now. Hoping it doesn't go back and take it out, because this is jumping up, and seems to be very excited. But, you know, if it does take out that stop loss, guys, then at the end of the day, it wasn't meant to be. But that stop loss is, what, $75 in profit. So I'm just going to leave it, because really, if it's going back that way, then it's gone. Look at all the buyers that have got back in here. That's quite insane, actually. Actually, really insane. Okay. Yeah, as you say, Daniel, the money will always be there every day. You just have to learn how to fish it out. You know, and that's the difficult part, that people struggle to figure out, you know, that how do you fish the money out? How do you get the money? It's no easy task, let me tell you. No easy task at all. So it seems things are turning around a little bit here. It seems our New Zealand dollar, US dollar is going in the right direction, and now our Euro JPY is going in the wrong direction. I guess we'll just have to live with that one. And Australian dollar, Canadian dollar is also going in the wrong direction now. Well, what can you do, eh? Yeah, right. That's quite a big move back. That's quite a strong move back, interestingly enough. Wonder why it's doing that. The difficulty with AI, there's a big story about AI replacing us. In the stock market, it's kind of doubtful. What I'm looking at in the stock market in traders is the stock market's more subjective than you can believe. It's not as objective as you think. It's not as mathematical as you think. So AI can't see what's going on in the real world. They can't see when the Fed chairman stands up and says something silly and everybody goes, "Ooh, sell, sell, sell." So at the moment, AI is controlled by human beings. Human beings are put bots out there to try and make the money, and they move it left and right, and They're controlling the AI. But if quantum physics comes along and takes over, then we're in trouble, because then it takes over the market. But as we stand at the moment, can you imagine, at the moment we have traders trading against traders. Some win, some lose. Right, most lose, some win, okay? Now imagine a whole bunch of robots trading against each other. A whole bunch of intelligent robots trading against each other. Can you imagine that? That's going to be chaos. Because every single robot, just like every single human being, believes they're going to be right. And they're going to start banging heads against each other somewhere down the line. So, no, that's the thing. AI cannot replace human emotion. It cannot figure out what's going on outside. When that could happen, like I say, is if quantum takes over. Quantum's dangerous. Quantum is insanely dangerous, because quantum, you know, like, for example, if something's trying to work out a password on a computer now, it'll sort of run through a whole bunch of ones and zeros, it'll work it out, and it'll take a few seconds or a few minutes or whatever the case. Quantum is like, boom, it'll work out 1,000 passwords like in a split second. Quantum is insane. So if that comes along, then we could be sitting with a different problem. We could be sitting with a completely different issue in the market. But I don't think that's going to be open to anything anytime soon. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. Maybe not in my lifetime anyway. But yeah, I can't see AI trading against AI and being successful, because all that AI trading against AI is going to do is they're going to bash heads effectively. And trading is a human thing, because, you know, humans need money to survive. AI doesn't. So the AI is going to be controlled by humans, because humans want the money, not the AI. The AI doesn't need money. The human needs the money. So the human's going to put the AI into action to try and making money. So the humans are still going to be in charge of it. Somewhere down the line, it's going to clash heads. Humans are trading. No, it's not going to take over. AI is not going to take over at the end of the day. There is a lot of AI getting into everything. Like I say, it's quite tricky and quite dangerous, but from what I can see, humans are the ones that need the money. So at the end of the day, humans are always going to be in control of that portion of the world. AI might change things to suit itself, or to suit the way the world is run, or something like that. I don't know, but that's a completely different subject altogether. I think if AI takes over in general in the world, we won't have trading. It'll be a different ballgame altogether. Yes, Kevin, the tail at the bottom of the candle effectively means the buyers are coming back, and at the top it means the sellers are coming back. So this is all the buyers coming back in. You see, you had this long candle down here. A full candle means full trading. What this means is they've pushed the price all the way back up to here. So this was a low, and that's where it's ended. And this is where all the buyers came back in and pushed the price all the way back up to here. A lot of buyers came back in. Now the sellers are coming back in. Much shorter candle, but the sellers are coming back into there, because the candle went all the way up to there. Now the sellers have pushed it down, and the sellers are pushing it down the other way now. You'll see it in a number of occasions in the past as well, different areas. Sellers coming back in, sellers coming back in over there. So the sellers are coming back in and pushing it down. So it's real human beings. That's why I say to you guys, work it out, and remember that it's real human beings in the market that are pushing things around. And then if you read, the charts are just there for us to read what's happening. So for example, a candle like that, where there's a tiny little body, lots of buyers coming back in, some sellers coming back in, very much an undecided candle. If that had been a lot shorter, it would have been much more of an undecided. See that one there where you got a body in the middle, long tail both ways. That's undecided. They're not sure which way the market's going. That's just the buyers and sellers getting confused. So like I say, yeah, no, markets are not run by algo, maths, or AI or anything like that. They're run by human beings. So even if there's a bot running the system, it's still a human being running it. I enjoy the challenge. I have a lot of fun. Somebody stop me. Just kidding. Get out of my way. You know, Lincoln, the most important thing about trading, the most important thing about trading is that you enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy it, oh, believe me, don't do it. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. You've got to enjoy it. It's for me addictive. It's always been addictive. I've tried to walk away from trading a couple of times and just leave it and say, I don't need to do that anymore, and just go and relax. And within no time, I'm back trading. I don't think I've been able to leave it for more than a month. You know, it's insane. It's in my blood. I can't leave it. It's always there. So it is what it is. And you guys might have the same problem. It's addictive. It's a very, very addictive thing. It's insanely addictive. The amount of times that I thought, you know, I don't need to do that. I've got my investments. Let me go and do something else. And it doesn't take long and I'm back. I just enjoy trading. Just it keeps my blood flowing, keeps me thinking, and it keeps me in touch with the markets as well. That's very important. You know, if you've just got investments and you walk away, you kind of lose touch. You lose touch with the markets and you're not really sure. So it's better to stay in touch all the time. It's more fun. And, you know, it's another, you know, like this YouTube channel is very, very much, there's a lot of selfish reasoning in it as well, because for me, the more I talk about it and the more I play with it, the more fun I have. And it's nice to have people around while you're trading, because like I've told you guys before, it's a very lonely game. And you tell your friends that you're a trader and they're not interested in that. They're like, what? Trader? No, you got to be a coal miner, dude. That's work. Yeah, no, the guys don't get it. And some do, but most don't. They get it when they need investment advice. That's when they get it. That's when they're like, oh, you're a trader. Hang on, let me go and ask you about money. That's when they get it. It does keep the grey matter working. Kind of stops me from getting dementia or whatever you call it. Alzheimer's disease, yeah. Something like that. But yeah, no, it keeps you going. And it's also something you can do forever. You know, you don't have to retire. You can always do it. You can always enjoy yourself with it. But really, guys, you've got to enjoy doing it. And don't just do it for the money. And that's the problem. Like, you see, like the random coding channel, is it Greg, your name? I think you said you're struggling and you want to make a living out of it. But that's the problem as well. If you get into trading and you're only chasing the money, it can become quite tricky and quite difficult. If you can have a bit of fun with it, then you'll get around it as well. And you get more understanding from it, less stressful, because the stress can be a problem as well. If you're not enjoying it and it's just stressing you out, that's not going to work either. Yeah, that's why I figured out how to do the live. You know, the live show was very daunting for me, guys. I made a couple of videos and I was putting it out there and I was doing something fun and telling you guys about trading and whatnot. And I thought, you know, a couple of guys said, you got to do the live. You got to get into the live. The live's the thing. And I thought, how am I going to do that? You know, I had to figure it out. I had to figure out, how do you put a live show on the go? You know, how do you make it work? But yeah, it's been fun. It's been good. And you're right, Kevin. It's good. It's almost like you're in a crowd. You've got people around. You've got someone to talk to. It's great stuff. It really is good. And that's what you need. You need that. Because like I say, it can be such a lonely place trading. No one will talk to you. No one's interested in what you're doing. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when you have to go and tell your family that you're a trader. Now, I'm fortunate because, you know, my wife married into that, so she understood who I was. But if you years in and you have to go and tell the family that, no, I'm going to be a trader now, forget it. That's not real job, is it? How are you going to make money? Oh, no, it's insane, let me tell you. But yeah, it's a lonely place. Very. I've had a lot of guys in the past sit in the pub with me and think, yeah, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a trader. What's that? Yeah, well, yeah. I guess it's better than saying YouTuber or something, eh? I don't know. Even that. Yeah. One guy asked me, can you show me how to trade? Can you show me a little bit about trading? I'm having a few drinks now. And I said to him, why don't you go watch my YouTube channel, man? You can go YouTube. You do YouTube. So even that's sort of like, yeah, I do. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's all. You know, Kevin, you actually said it in a nutshell there. Friends on here looking out for each other and helping each other. It's all about community at the end of the day. If we build a community, if we build a strong community, everyone can help everyone. So it's not just me that's going to help you guys. You know, you can get an answer from Daniel. You can get an answer from David. You can get an answer from anyone. And everyone will help everyone. It's better that way. It really is. It's good for everyone. And you can all grow with the channel. Yeah, it's not very big. Obviously, there's not a lot of viewers on this live show. There's not a lot of us here. But that might grow over time. There might be more of us in the future, and we can bounce more and more off each other. Maybe it's a blessing that it's not massive, because it might become difficult for me to handle it as well. Because at the moment I can handle it, but you know, if there's like a few hundred people watching a live show, or it starts to become millions of views or something, I don't know, comments and looking after everyone might become difficult. So maybe it's a blessing that it's not massive as we stand, but that said, it's still nice to have everyone on board, and it's nice to see it grow, because it's a bit like a challenge, you know. Let's make this happen. Let's grow this community. Let's all make money. Let's all do this together. Let's get it to a point. Yeah, as Daniel says, listen to what Rob says and go and do it. Yeah, just go and do it. You've got to apply it. You've got to apply it. If you want to make the money, you've got to apply the strategy. This system, I can help you guys every day with, you know, how do I take a trade here? How do I take a trade there? What's the support? What's the resistance? That's the easy part. The difficult part is getting your head around it. The difficult part is getting your psychology around it. The difficult part is sitting on your hands. I mean, look at this, guys. This shot up here, and I was looking at it thinking, oh no, it's going to take out that. Sit on your hands. There, it's back where it was. It's fine. Okay. Hopefully it'll come down to here and then head on down. If you look at a chart, any chart, it goes up and it goes down. Look how many red ones are in here, how many green ones are in here on its way down. It's always going to do that. And it's very difficult to sit in your hands and watch it do that. Danny, I have a Discord channel, but it's driving me insane. We haven't been using it because, firstly, there was a couple of spammers and scammers on there that tried to say they were me and sell everybody something. And then I tried to get a new link, like a permanent link that I can give you guys, because it keeps expiring. So I try to get a permanent link, and then now I can't get a link off the damn thing. It keeps saying copy, and it just says copy this. So I'm going to see if I can make it work again, but just be patient on that. I've got to figure out what's going on with it, because I tried getting a link off it today to give you guys, and it wouldn't give me a link. It's insane. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh yeah, I have closed it, so it's not here now. So yeah, just be patient on that. I'll try and get you guys a new link. But I can't get a link off them at the moment to give you guys to join up. No, it doesn't want to give me a link. I have to invite people or something. It's crazy. But yeah, as I say, the other problem is with that, if we get it going again, just if somebody says they're me and they're trying to sell you something off the Discord, it's not me, okay? It's not me. And I don't want somebody tarnishing our reputation because there's some spammer from a God knows where. Just watch out for that. So yeah, Danny, I'll sort it out. Tesla is getting a consecutive green candles in PM trading. Oh, that's great news. Great news. As I say, I'm not trading on the shares. I just invest there. So that's great. All right, Danny, I'll get it sorted again. Like I say, it's just been a bit of a pain. And every time I ask for a link, it gives me a stupid, I don't know, thing. I say copy this for a permanent thing on the Discord, and it gives me something else. Let's just open it here. I just want to see if I can get a link now. Channels, trading, create invite. It says hidden, use copy button. So let me just edit the link to it never expires. Okay, so that's great. Generate link, copy. And if I copy that, all I get is this, which is ridiculous. I'll just show you guys. That's what I get. Hidden, use copy button. I copied it. That's what it gives me. I mean, you guys, surely if you click on that, it's not going to take you to Discord. Try it. I don't know. You guys can try it and see if it works. Just saw a double top form, did nothing again, so no $250 for me. On what, Daniel? On gold or what? Or which one? Just let me know where you got the double top from. So yeah, I'm just giving up on this Discord for now. But if you guys do manage to get on there, just it's Rob's Logical Trading, and if you do manage to get on there, just remember that if anyone's trying to sell you anything on there, I won't try and sell you anything on there. If there's any links or affiliate links or anything like that, they'll be on the video channels. They'll be on the description to support the channel or whatever, but I'm not going to try and sell you a course. I'm not going to try to sell you anything off that Discord channel. Just remember that. Worst case scenario is you're going to join as a member on the YouTube, and there'll be one or two maybe affiliate links in the description to support the channel. That's it. Okay. Yes, like I'm going to wait for a confirmation, but I'm sure the move is already done and I missed it. Naz 100. Not trading, just learning. Discord throws up hidden news copy button, usually if you have streamer mode on. Oh, really? Okay. Thanks for the information. Let me have a look at that. Streamer mode, eh? I guess I've got to somehow switch that off then. Streamer mode. You know, I don't know much about Discord, so obviously I have to find streamer mode. I suppose it'll be in the settings, eh? In here. Streamer mode enabled. You're right. So let's disable streamer mode. And okay, I'm just going to close that. Escape. Aha. Right, let's see what we get now. This. Oh, look at that. Looks like you guys are going to get a link. Well done. Somebody knows something about Discord. Copy. Huh. Well, here you go, guys. There's the link. Perfect. Damien, well done. Perfect. Okay, that's what I didn't know. You see, I don't know anything about Discord channels and things like that. So there you go. We've got it. That's the Discord channel that we have. That's the trading channel. Like I said, anybody goes on there and claims to be me trying to sell you something, then it ain't me. Okay. Cool. Right. Thanks, Damien. Good show. You can all join it there, and that link should last forever. I'll try and put it in the video links as well, and then we can get it there as well. Okay, perfect. Yes, no, great. I learn something every day. At least I learned something today. I learned something new. That's perfect. Thanks, Danny. Perfect. Good. Thanks, Damien. Right. No, I learned something new. Okay, guys, time for me to be on my way, by the way. Okay, so we got the Discord channel working, and I see it's Carlos that joined now. Great stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, Carlos joined. Welcome. There you go. Discord's up and running. That's perfect. You guys can post whatever you want on there. Just post to each other, post information, post trades, go mad. And I will try and post the trades, but I've got so much on the go as well. So let's try and I'll do what I can. Okay. But yeah, the Discord channel's at least there. It's working and we're on there. Just be careful of that spammer, as I say. Be careful of that dude that's trying to catch you guys out. Guys, I got to go now. Got to hand on my way because it is that time of the day. But guys, thanks a lot. Is it Thursday today? Yeah, it's already Thursday, so we'll be live next week again. But yeah, watch the videos. I've got another one coming out tomorrow, and then we've got Monday again, so perfect. And then I'll see you guys at Tuesday at 10 o'clock GMT +2. Thanks for watching, and have a good weekend, and have a great trading day tomorrow. Cheers, ciao, and see you soon.